hello, and welcome to another Profit Protector Pro deep dive training. I knew you could be anywhere today, tonight, whatever day and night it is, and you're here. So we appreciate that massively. It is a warm evening in the UK, 7 o'clock. We're not used to warm evenings in the UK, but it's a warm evening. I got my doors open. There's a nice breeze coming through. So if you hear some weird little noise, it's probably the wind doing its ting. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We know you could be anywhere tonight, and you guys are the serious people because you're here to learn and here to discover and here to chat to us, which is better than watching Netflix or whatever else you could be doing, wasting your time and your life. So hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you very much. How are you?
Good. I'm great. Thank you. And I love these things. So I love going live, so I'm really super happy to be here and super stoked to see you guys with us. So shall we have a look at who is in the chat? Say hello to us in the chat, and we'll shout you out. So we've got Farhana. Hi, Farhana. We got Brian from Cleveland. Let us know where you are as well. Tell us where you're at in the world. Cleveland, Ohio, USA. I love our American friends joining us. I don't know what time it is over there. I'm guessing it's like, 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something. West Coast or East Coast. I don't know. I guess you're 6 or 8 hours behind or something like that, or 7 hours behind Central Time. I don't know. Holly Pebbles is in the building. Kay, hi, Nicola. Huh? Literally in the building. Joel's here. Ron's here. Alvin's here. Tanya's here. Good evening, everyone. Let us know where you're from. There's a little bit of a delay. Oh, here we go. No, they're coming through now. Kay from Gloucestershire in the UK. Adam from Utah, USA. Welcome, Adam. Farhana's in Tottenham, London. Joel's in New York. Brian, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, that's interesting. Nicola's from Bristol. Donna's in Indiana, USA. Gabriella in London. Karen in Pittsburgh. Nice. We always get a good turnout for them, the Americans on these, don't we? I love it. I love it. I'm always like, are the Americans going to be all right with it because of the time and because of our accent, especially Karen, because you can't understand a word she says with the strong UK Essex accent. But it's good to see you all here. Hey, James. Hey, Trish. Is that another James? Maybe it's a different James, but Stephen is James. Beverly. John in Wyoming. Jerome from France. Nice. Fiaz is in Birmingham. Alvin in Wembley. Tim from Bournemouth. Beverly in Ohio, Ankit in London. Joel says, we love your accent. I assume Joel means my accent and not yours, Karen.
No, he definitely means my accent. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers, Denise. No, that's great. Right. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate your time, attention and stuff. And hopefully you'll have a good, fun session tonight and learn some stuff. Yeah. Charmaine from Blackburn, Florian from Germany. I love it. We've got our European friends. We've got our American friends. We've got our British friends. All good. Debbie says, you missed me calling in from Jerusalem, Israel. That's amazing. Any advances on Jerusalem? Radu's from RO. What's RO? I don't know what RO is. Maybe it's my ignorance, but that's not a state in the US, is it, RO? I don't know. You'll have to let us know. Romania? Maybe Romania. We'll see.
Okay.
Right, Karen.
Yes.
What we saying? What's tonight going to be all about? Romania.
So, well, we're going to start with a video that's going to talk about Profit Protector Pro generally and what makes it different, and to help people get behind our thinking of what makes Profit Protector Pro different to other repricers and other things out there, so that you can understand our thinking and where we're coming from. Yeah. Because straight away after that, we want to go into custom strategies and automations, and we've got loads of information to give you on that. And we'll
is this specifically how to use them, Karen, or what they do?
It's both. So we're going to go through what they are, how to set them up, some examples of where you might use what, and we'll answer all of your questions on that. So I think they're the things we're going to get started on. We've got some other things to come to a bit later, assuming we've got time. But I really want to make sure we answer everyone's questions to do with custom strategies and automations. And we've got I've got a couple of things written down, sneak peeks that we're working on at the moment, But at the end, I want to share with everyone and tell you what we're doing, what we're working on, what's coming soon, and just what's going on in the background. So so we've got tons and tons of information to get through. But the first thing we want to do is get you into our thinking of what Profit Protector Pro does and why, because I think that will help you understand how the custom strategies work and everything else if you understand our thinking behind Profit Protector Pro.
Yeah, so Profit Protector Pro is not like other repricers. I know people just look at features and look at prices and stuff and compare. But what I want to do to begin with is just to paint a picture as to why Profit Protector Pro is not like other repricers. So other repricers are all about the buy box, buy box, buy box, buy box. And that worked years ago, not so well anymore. And Profit Protector Pro is all about not just getting the buy box. We don't want to lose you the buy box. Obviously, we try to gain as much buy box as possible, but how to drive up the profits and how we do that and why we do that and all that stuff. But we're going to deep dive into the features, custom strategies and automations. Did you say, Karen?
We're going to start with those, and then we've got some other things coming later. But I don't want to say what we're going to cover else we're going to cover, because I don't know how many questions we're going to get on custom strategies and automations. We might get 2, we might get 200. So I just don't know. So we'll see how time goes, what other things we're going to cover as well. But yeah, we've got tons of information ready to go. And we're going to run it like we have other sessions as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to play you a video that we recorded over the last couple of days that talks you through the features and shows you how they all work. And then we'll come straight back on live again to answer all of your questions. We find that works better just because when you're doing things live, you think certain things need blurring out, like personal information and all that. And it just makes it really complicated when you're doing it all live. So it's much easier if we roll a video and then come straight back on afterwards and answer all of your questions. But we'll be in the chat as well. But so have a look at the video. Let's get stuck into the first video, get you into our mindset of why Profit Protector Pro does what it does. So that will help you move into the custom strategies and automations, which we'll then go on to next.
So quick video. The idea is video, Q&A chat, video, Q&A chat, and we'll just keep going until you guys are fed up and want us to get lost. Okay,
actually, so we'll keep going until Webinar Jam cut us off.
We'll probably keep going until Webinar Jam cut us off, which is it is restricted by time. So, without further ado, Karen says, "Will there be a replay?" There will be a replay, but obviously the Q&A is live. We're live right now, so if you hang around, you get to ask us anything. So, as we roll a video, then we'll do Q&A on that feature or that video, and then we'll go into another one, and we'll just keep going like that. So, you guys have got direct access to us as co-founders of Profit Protector Pro. And if there's a question we can't answer, we've got direct access to the devs to get you an answer. Not right now. They're not here right now. They're all stopped working because they work UK time. But, we can get you answers. So it's the place to be if you want to know about Profit Protector Pro. But without further ado, let's get cracking with the first video. Shall we go?
Yep, let's go. And we'll be back very shortly after the video.
Okay. Let me... So welcome to the training. It's really good to have you here. I just want to talk you through a few things before we get started. This is Profit Protector Pro. If you don't have it already or you don't know what it is, basically it's a Chrome extension, it's a desktop app, and it's a mobile app. And it's basically what I consider the most innovative repricing solution available in the marketplace in 2021. And it's only going to get better. So a lot of people are using really dinosaur old stuff that's really not providing the results they expect, and it's actually causing a lot of problems that they're unaware of. So if you're not a Profit Protector Pro customer, then you need to look at this and listen to this. But let's get started. So I've got a few slides here. This is the 13th of July 2021 training session. I want to talk to you about Amazon's top 3 priorities, right? And a lot of people don't realize this, so it's really important. But priority number 1, and it's what's made Amazon such a huge company, is their customer. They are so customer focused, so customer centric, and it's paid off for them big time. So what do they care about when it comes to repricing and your products? They care about the customer getting the best price possible. What's their priority number 2? It's Amazon. So once the customer's taken care of, priority number 2 is Amazon. So what are you guessing priority number 3 is? You'd like to think it's you, the seller, but the truth is priority number 3 is also Amazon. I say this a little bit tongue in cheek, but any seller will admit if they've been selling on Amazon for a while, it definitely feels this way, even if the rhetoric coming out of Amazon is not quite this way. But basically, it's not a bad thing. It is what it is. Amazon's a great platform. We're fully supportive of it. But the priority is the customer, then the priority is Amazon. You don't really feel like you come into it anywhere. And the honest truth is, you're not one of their priorities. They care about the sellers. Of course they do. Without you guys, they wouldn't make, I think the sales volume's like 65% plus sales on Amazon are through third-party sellers. So they can't ignore us. They can't ignore the sellers. But the truth is, you're not their priority. The priority is the customer, and then their priority is Amazon, which is fair enough. If you were running their business, you probably run it the same way too. So let me talk to you about why using Amazon's free repricer is a mistake. Now, going back to the priorities, what are Amazon's priorities? The customer. So getting the best price for the customer. And then the priority is obviously themselves. They don't care. And this is truth. And they couldn't even deny this. They don't care if you make money or not. Obviously, they want you to make money and they want you to have a sustainable long-term business so you'll continue to sell on Amazon. But they don't care if you sell at break even forever. They don't care if you sell at a loss. In fact, why should they? They're a business, you're a business. It's for you to make those decisions. They only care about the customer and care about themselves. And it's your duty to take care of your decisions as the seller and as a business owner. So they're making their decisions based on their business and their customers. You need to make a decision based on your business and your customers. So Amazon's created this free repricer because they know repricing is important. They know giving their customers a lower price helps people come back to Amazon so they get more customers and their priorities are taken care of. But the problem with Amazon's free repricer is, and if this has changed, I'm unaware of it. I've not heard anybody talk about this. I was the first person that spotted this that I know of. But basically, the way Amazon's repricing works is if the listing is selling on average at 20, 23, like this example, for example, the average selling price for non-Amazon sellers is about £23, £24, £25 or something like that. Now, if you were both, if Tim and Beth in this example, okay, I've just made up people, but let's say they're two sellers that are selling via FBA, selling via Amazon, and they both enter their minimums. They're using Amazon's free reprice and they both enter their minimums as £10 or $10. But the average selling price for non-Amazon sellers on this listing is £23, right? What would Amazon do? Amazon go, okay, so Tim's minimum's £10, Beth's minimum's £10. Okay, cool. Let's reprice down to £10. So they're both repricing downwards to get the buy box, and the both minimum is £10 or $10. What does Amazon do? It doesn't do the, well, we'll try 22.98 and then 22.97 and then 22.96 and then 22.95, which could take a while for the prices to go down to the minimums because they're both fighting it out. No, they just go, well, we know your minimums are 10 for Tim and Beth. You're both using Amazon's free repricer, so we know your minimums. So let's just cut to the chase and let's go down to 10. So what Amazon would do in their free repricer is drop the prices down to $10 or £10. If that happens, you don't get the advantage of selling for some profit on the way down. You just go to your minimums instantly. Now, Amazon might think that's super efficient, and people mistakenly sometimes say Amazon's reprice is really fast. Well, yeah, it is fast at dropping your price. If two sellers are selling for $10 or £10, it will drop it like a rock. It doesn't know or care that you've got no profits or very little profits at these levels. It just does what you say. So I'm not complaining about it. It's great because it's free and it's a tool, and why not? But for all but the most beginners of sellers, Amazon's free repricer is not optimal. It will cost you money in reduced sale prices and therefore reduced profits. It's unlikely to make you money because of this exact thing. So it moves us on to why you're really here, which is rules-based repricing versus algorithmic repricing. So when I talk about rules-based versus algorithmic, one is they're both I'm talking about the competition out there in the marketplace for paid for repricers. Now, you might say, why use a paid repricer when you can get Amazon free repricer? Well, I just told you why. Because Amazon's priorities are Amazon and the customer. Your priorities are obviously a win-win-win. So you do want the customer to get a good price. You do want Amazon to make money. So they'll continue to offer this amazing service of third-party selling on Amazon. But ultimately, your priorities are, and they should be this, for you to make money. You owe it to your business and to your family and whoever you're doing it for, your future dreams, whatever. You owe it to everybody concerned with you and your business to do this profitably and sustainably. Which leaves you with, now know repricing with no repricer is not an option in 2021. It's just not good enough. You're just really losing out, and maybe losing out by 1 penny. So realistically, using no repricer is not an option. Using Amazon's free repricer is really going to cripple you somewhat, and it's really going to cost you money. So yeah, it might be free up front, but it's going to cost you in profits, which leaves us with the paid repricing options, rule-based versus algorithmic. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this. So until recently, the last few years, rule-based repricing was the way to go. It was the way of repricing. It was basically 2 sellers on a listing, 1 seller using rule-based repricer, and they go, I want to be a penny cheaper than that seller no matter what till this minimum. And that's what rule-based repricing is basically. And you can set up different rules, but basically it's very, very simple. It just does what you tell it, which is fine. And that worked until about 2015. It worked really well. And it works still in a vacuum of no sellers and no algorithms. But nowadays, things have got tougher. Competition's got more smart and more intelligent. And now you're up against algorithmic repricers, and rule-based really doesn't cut it anymore. So let me talk to you about rules-based. Well, it works well at first. So you'll turn it on. You'll set up a new repricer. You'll turn it on and you'll see a spike in sales. And you're like, wow, where has this been my whole life? It's really working well. Your sales go through the roof, and you sell loads of stuff really fast. And then it quickly drops off as prices normalize. And you're scratching your head thinking, does this repricer not work anymore? Or am I doing something wrong? Or what's happened? And you'll have seen it. If you've used a rule-based repricer, and like I say, most of the paid repricers tend to be rules-based, or the majority of it usually is rules-based. You've seen it. You turn it on, you see a big spike. A month later, your sales are like when you didn't have a repricer, and you're scratching your head thinking, why am I even paying for this repricer if my sales have just dropped off? So that's the thing that happens with rule-based repricers a lot. They also tend to cause price tanking. So the very thing that you'd like repricers to work against, they actually cause. So if 2 sellers are aggressive, and let's face it, if there's 50 sellers on a listing or 20 sellers on a listing, it only takes 2 sellers to be aggressive, then the repricer is actually the things that causes the price tanking. So you see the prices drop, the penny race to the bottom starts, which is annoying and sucks. And don't you wish every seller would just play nice? But they don't. And rules-based reprice are actually the thing that causes the race to the bottom and drops the prices through the floor. So that's another bad thing about rule-based repricers. And then they've got an obsession with buy box only. Like some of the big names in repricing, which are rules-based, actually default out of the box to penny under repricing. So they are basically saying, yeah, we'll drop your price. Don't worry, we'll drop your price. We'll get you the buy box. Yeah, but when 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sellers are all doing the same thing, all dropping prices, it price tanks almost as fast as Amazon's free repricer would when it's competing against itself. But this obsession with buy box only gets you low profits and poor business performance. And like I say, rules-based worked great in 2015. Well, it's now 2021. It just doesn't cut the mustard anymore. So moving on to Profit Protector Pro algorithmic repricing. Well, Profit Protector Pro is able to use narrow AI. When I say narrow, it just means it's not like Terminator 2 stuff. Narrow AI is AI focused on one specific thing. So narrow AI might, I don't know, learn the temperature in your house, for example. That's narrow AI, but it ain't going to be making you some toast in the morning, and it's not going to be driving your car for you or taking your kids to school. So narrow AI is still amazing at AI. It's artificial intelligence, but it's just based on learning the listing, okay, and dominating the listing. What is it also able to do? It gets higher profits whilst maintaining buy box dominance. So I've seen some people out there saying, no, if you increase the prices, you lose the buy box. No, you don't. That's what rule-based repricers, creators want you to think and falsely put out there into the world, or uneducated sellers that haven't tried Profit Protector Pro's algorithms, because if you had tried it, you'd know that that wasn't true. Putting the price up doesn't lose you the buy box. Now it does if you do it in a rudimentary and raw and unintelligent way. If you was just to put a penny over current price, rules-based repricer on it, yeah, you're quickly going to lose the buy box, okay? It doesn't work like that. But the beauty of it is, when you're learning the listing, you build up a picture of the listing and the competition and the prices and everything that's happened to the prices in that listing, and you're able to make smart decisions. Now, you couldn't make those decisions because you couldn't collect the data fast enough, but Profit Protector Pro's AI algorithms do collect that data, which means you get higher profits whilst maintaining buy box dominance. So you're not forced to lose the buy box. We've got tons of users out there that have openly and publicly screenshotted and stated that they are selling for loads more than the rest of the sellers that are selling for a lot less. And that's because of the algorithms within Profit Protector Pro doing this AI thing. You don't need to worry exactly how it works, but it just does work. And the proof in the pudding is out there. It's everywhere. There's loads of sellers that have posted screenshots of this stuff. There's loads of people that have stated in Profit Protector Pro Facebook group and elsewhere that I'm selling for loads more. And it's not a rare occurrence, and it's not a 1 in a million type thing. And it's not one of those weird, rare artifacts. This is a thing that Profit Protector Pro does. So we're able to take the buy box from lower price sellers and from Amazon and keep the buy box whilst increasing the price. So upwards focused without reducing in the buy box time. And also better performance and making more money and more sales. So that's what Profit Protector Pro's algorithms do. So really, if it's 2021 or if you're watching this in 2022 or something, you're going back in time. Honestly, using a rules-based repricer or a free repricer really is not the answer. You need to be using an algorithmic repricer. Now, Profit Protector Pro algorithms are unique and proprietary. You cannot get them anywhere else, and they are really going to shoot your prices to the moon, and you really need to give it a good try. So, Matt, are you biased against rule-based repricers? You seem like you're just trying to trash the competition, because they're mostly rule-based. Even in 2021, they're mostly rule-based. Hey, a lot of the competition even try and bash blooming algorithms. It's like, just use them, and then you'll know you can't bash them, because the truth is they work better than rules-based. And if you're saying, are you biased, Matt? No, because Profit Protector Pro has both options. We offer rules-based repricing in there, included in the price, and we offer algorithmic repricing. But unlike our competition, that either don't have algorithmic repricing, or they limit the amount of listings you can have the algorithms working on, because it's really expensive for them to run algorithmic repricing. That's why most of the competition don't like to do it, or don't do it. If they could even code it in, they limit the amount of listings you can apply the AI algorithms to. So it's like, we don't do that. We've got both options. Every listing you've got in your account, you can use algorithms or rules-based. It's up to you. But trust me, for 99% of the time, 99% of situations, algorithms will beat rules-based. So anybody saying anything else is either inexperienced, uneducated, or just trying to pull the wool over your eyes because they've got ulterior motives. We have both. We have rules-based, we have algorithms. So that's just the truth. Now, if your repricer only has rule-based repricing, you are losing money and you are losing sales. That's just the truth. So, 2 of the reasons Profit Protector Pro is able to get you better results than the competition, before we go into the meat and potatoes of the training, whereby we break all this stuff down for you. Well, in our tests, a lot of price change notifications are either never sent by Amazon, or for one reason or another get lost along the way. I don't know if it's corrupted information or data, or it just don't get sent, or I don't know why or what. But there's a bunch of reasons, I'm sure. But the price change notifications don't come from Amazon. Most of them do. The vast majority of them do. But if that's 70% on a particular day, then you're missing 30%. If it's 90% on a particular day, you're missing 10%. I don't know exactly how many price change notifications get lost, but this is a fact. Price changes happen, and then the notification from Amazon to your repricer get lost. So then if your repricer doesn't know about that price change, it cannot do anything. And if it cannot do anything, you are losing out. Well, literally about 50% of our server bill, which is expensive, our server bill is 6 figures per year. We pay Amazon AWS, so we've got the best servers in the game, and for this server cloud computing capability type thing. And at approximately 50% of our bill is spent on manually checking these prices. Now, other repricers don't do this. If they don't get notified of a price change, they don't do anything. So literally 50% of the unseen cost, it's not a cost to you, it's a cost to us, we spend on making sure that if there's a price change, we know about it so these notifications don't get lost. Now, most of these repricer creators, they either don't know about this or they bury their head in the sand. They don't want to know about this. But trust me, this is a thing, okay? And it's one of the reasons why Profit Protector Pro is so sharp and our algorithms work so well, because we spend so much money on getting the actual data, not just the data that we're being told and that we can pick up. So also our algorithms learn the listing using AI so it gets better over time, not worse like a rules-based repricer does. So whereby you see that drop off in prices and your increase in sales, and then all of a sudden everything seems to stop working like a few weeks later, a month or two later with a rules-based repricer. That doesn't really happen with us. Rules-based reacts to just what's happening right now with very basic information. And again, we do have rules-based options if you want them, but it just reacts to what's happening right now. So it's like a cat or a dog. It's in the moment. I'm hungry. Give me some food. But our algorithms are more intelligent than that, and they know where it can get the buy box, where it will lose the buy box, and learns in real time using poke tests to see what it can get away with. And the result basically is higher prices with no reduction in average in the buy box percentage. So you make more money, more sales, faster using Profit Protector Pro. And honestly, the dinosaur old school competition and some of the new guys that don't have the algorithms, they don't do what Profit Protector Pro does. So please don't just look at prices and features and assume that that's everything. It really isn't. Profit Protector Pro has some real baked in core technology that other repricers don't have, that are able to dominate the competition and really, really, really take things to a next level. So having said all that, just getting that basic stuff out the way, we're going to break down some of the features and how they will help you in Profit Protector Pro. So let's get into the training. Hello. Right, that's intro out the way, guys. I just wanted to tell you some of the reasons why PPP or Profit Protector Pro is not like other repricers. Some of that stuff you'll already have known. Maybe you don't if you're new to Profit Protector Pro. But the next stuff, we're just going to be deep diving into the actual features, what they do, how they work, and all that stuff, and some of the more advanced stuff. Now, you guys have got a bunch of questions. Karen's chomping at the bit to answer them. So shall we do a few questions, Karen, and then crack on with the next vid?
Yeah, I think so. Let's get these ones done, and then we can go into custom strategies and automations, because that's the next one that I want to cover, because that's a really important one.
Right. Okay. Well, Holly was asking me, shall I answer these questions, or will Karen want to? I'm not sure, but we left them for you, I think. So, right. So which one are we going for? Are we going Paul first?
Yep, let's go for Paul. Okay.
So Paul says, hi, Matt. Hi, Karen. Do any of your PPP strategies take into account competitor seller stock levels in deciding when, if to reprice one of our ASINs?
Okay, so the answer to that, Paul, is Profit Protector Pro works, as you know, through your keys, so your MWS keys for your account. So all the information that comes to Profit Protector Pro from Amazon comes through that information. And it is against Amazon terms of service for us as a partnered software project that has access to MWS keys to scrape any data. So in order to be able to get that information about competitor stock levels, we would have to scrape the data, which means if we scrape the data, Amazon might push that button and switch Profit Protector Pro off. So it's always a fine balance between adding in features that we really want to add in and making sure that we are respectful of Amazon's rules and why they're there and trying to find that balance. So when we go into custom strategies and automations, we are going to talk about stock levels and repricing based on stock levels. But at the moment, it is for your stock levels because that's the information we get through the MWS keys. I mean, there might be a way in the future. I'd never say never, because there might be a way that we can find to do that, because we would love to do that. There are so many features that we would love to put into Profit Protector Pro that we feel would probably get us switched off by Amazon. So never say never. We're always looking for ways around things. So we're working on it. We're looking at it, but it's not in there yet. So that's the best way to answer that.
Yeah. Ian said, is the recording going to be sent out that we can view later? Now, I think Webinar Jam's made it so you have to click a button now. It doesn't auto record, I don't think. I think you have to go in and change a setting. And Beck set this up. So if it don't record, Becky Chops, we blame you. Beck's one of our trusted long-term team members. She knows what she's doing. But fingers crossed. So fingers crossed it's going to be recorded. It should be, if all goes well. And if Webinar Jam maybe just records it anyway. But I swear I was in the settings the other day and I saw it as like defaults to no, don't record it. So we'll see. But hopefully, yes. Nicola says, how long does it take for the algorithm to learn how the prices of a listing behave for a particular strategy? Can it predict what would have happened if you had used a different strategy? Or is it a case of trying various strategies for each product? So it can't predict what would have happened if you do use a different strategy, because that's crystal ball stuff. And unfortunately, we don't have it. I mean, we could always try to guesstimate it or something, but it doesn't do that currently. But with regards to how long it takes to learn the listing, I think it's different for different ASINs and different. It depends on the landscape, who's selling it for what price and all that stuff. So I don't think there is a set time. It's very similar in my testing to like the Facebook algorithm with their Facebook ads pixel I've seen. So in our testing, I would imagine without you changing mins and maxes or strategies and just leaving it, a typical time frame might be 4 days, but don't hold me to that. It might be 7, it might be 2, it might be 1. So who knows? Have you got anything to add to that, Karen?
I don't think so. I think it's interesting that what Nicola's asked for in terms of like sliding doors sort of things. So I think that's something that I'd like us to talk about. But
yeah. I mean, who knows? Right now it doesn't do it, but who knows?
Yeah, that'd be something that'd be nice to chat about. So we'll see. We'll see. So Daniel says, I'm curious what the best settings are since a lot of my items have tanked. Most are at minimum price, barely break even. Is there a best setting to try and sell these off fast and try and secure a bit of extra profit? Any input would be helpful. Okay, so Daniel, if you have a look on the strategies page, you'll see that each of the algorithmic strategies are coded with dots underneath them. So it's how hard it works in terms of sales versus profit. So super aggressive dominator is like the one that focuses on sales the most and profit the least. And then there's like a list of them. You can go up the list if you like. Every one that changes very slightly, so that little balance changes. And the dots change underneath the strategy and the description of the strategy. So something like profit harvester or cautious, one of those, they are always looking to try and up your price as much as possible. They're still looking at sales. They'll still get you lots of sales, but they're trying to up the price as well. So I think when listings tank, there can sometimes be a bit of a panic and everyone's like, oh my God, the price is dropping. We've got to sell out. You don't make a lot of the time. If you just hang on a little while and you just stick it at a higher price, stick it on something like cautious or something like that, and leave it there and let Profit Protector Pro try and get you that extra profit. It might take slightly longer if they're tanking the listing, but you'll then find that actually all those crazy people tanking the listing sell out and you manage to get your price higher. So we talk about a little bit like that in the custom strategies video that's coming up next. So we talk a bit about that. But don't assume just because everyone else is trying to sell it off really fast that you need to do that too.
Can I add something?
Of course, go for it.
Sorry. Can I add? Right, I'm just going to add something to that. If I get the impression you say that your listings have hit the minimum, so there is nothing Profit Protector Pro can do to get you the buy box or get you the sale if the price of the product has gone below your minimum. So we're not trying to say that we could do magic. So if the price, you're priced at $20 or £20 and the current buy box price is like £15 and your minimum's £20, you're not going to get it. You might get some weird rotation due to Amazon, but you're not going to get it. Now, the standard practice is to give Profit Protector Pro a nice little bit of wiggle room. So if you can give it $1 below the current, so if you can set your minimum $1, say, or a pound below the current thingy, set your minimum there, then it gives it some time to get the buy box and then bring it back up. So if they've dropped below your minimum, then honestly, either readjust your minimums so that it can work to get it and then drive the price up, or just wait it out. Now, we've found online arbitrage over the years, if you're doing that, wholesale is probably the similar and retail arbitrage is probably similar. Used to be a 30 to 90 day game. Now it's a bit of it can be up to a 4-month game, sometimes a little bit longer. So when you're sourcing, if you think I've got to sell this product within 2 weeks, then you're going to be one of these people that pile in and jump in the race to the bottom. And I think that can be devastating for your business. Whereby if you just go, right, okay, worst case scenario, I'm going to sell out in 4 months. It gives you a different mindset. And then you're able to just set a healthy minimum and maximum, set your strategy and leave it to it and know that, look, if it sells tomorrow, great. If it takes 4 months, it takes 4 months. Now, usually it doesn't. And if you do give it that wiggle room, so current price is there, your minimum's here, your maximum's there, and Profit Protector Pro can work within it, then it'll probably grab it. It'll probably drive the price up and you'll be super happy. But ultimately, if it drops below your minimum, there's nothing any repricer is going to be able to do. It's just a rotation thing or a selling out thing or just a time thing. So either adjust your mins. But then to answer your question, a lot of people, and I know this is totally different to what Karen's just said, but I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for this. But a lot of people love super aggressive dominator. And even though it's sales focused, because it's so aggressive in what it does, people are finding that it does drive the price up. And a lot of people, their default strategy is super aggressive. And it's not because the penny under reprices and they like to be super aggressive. They find that it gives them the best results and the best profits. So ultimately, give them a shot. There's no rights and wrongs. See what works for you, but make sure that you've got a nice, healthy minimum below the current buy box price.
Okay.
Thanks, Karen.
So Brian says, some repricers claim that they reprice every 10 minutes, 5 minutes instant. How quick does PPP reprice? And could you explain the repricing cycle that PPP uses?
Okay, do you want me to answer that?
If you want to.
I'll answer that. Okay, right. So our biggest competition, I won't mention names. We're not here to bash anybody. I'm just trying to paint a picture of what the reality is. I'm not here to say they're bad or they're good or anything like that. We're just talking about Profit Protector Pro tonight. But one of our biggest competitors reprices every hour unless you pay into 3 figures a month. So it's hundreds a month. Otherwise, if you pay less than 100, and I think it might be £59, which is, I don't know what it is in dollars, but $89 or something, not sure. But £59 a month gets you, I think it's hourly repricing. I'm sorry, but it's not good enough. So unless you're willing to pay in the hundreds, it ain't no good. One of our other biggest, longest term competitors that have been around over a decade, I think, or maybe they started in 2013, something like that. So a lot older than us, a lot more established. They do 15-minute repricing unless you're willing to pay $100, which is significantly $100 a month, that is, which is significantly longer, significantly more than us. And they restrict the amount of algorithms that can be applied to listings. Like they only let you apply 10 algorithmic listings and all this craziness. So 15-minute and hourly repricing is pretty much the norm unless you're willing to pay 3 figures, but not with Profit Protector Pro. We are proud that we charge extremely low prices and our server costs and dev costs are extremely high. So we pretty much reinvest everything to give you a great service at rock bottom prices, but we do continuous pricing. Continuous. So when I say continuous, I don't mean this second, this second, this second. We work that fast. But ultimately, we are working with Amazon's API. And what we've seen is reprices, I think, can take up to 2 minutes. So it could happen in 10 seconds, could happen in 5 seconds, it could happen in 1 second, or it could take up to 2 minutes. So we could have done our bit, sent the envelope to Amazon, and Amazon take 2 minutes, I think, up to 2 minutes or something like that. So to answer your question, the cycle is continuous. And we spend a lot of money to make it continuous for you, and we charge a lot less than most of our competition does. So we give a better quality of service for a lot less money. But we can't do that forever. Like, we're running in pretty much at break even. That's what we do, because we've got massive server costs and dev costs, and we keep reinvesting to make a better product for you guys. But we never put your prices up. Whatever you pay now, you pay forever. We grandfather you in. So the current price, it will be going up soon, but we grandfather you in forever. So with regards to repricing cycles, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, hourly, we don't think that's good enough. And you can't compete against us when we're doing continuous repricing, real time as we're able to, only restricted pretty much by Amazon and technical stuff. But yeah, it's continuous, to answer your question.
Okay. So Jess says, when are you going to bring in smart pricing so that PPP doesn't price between 10 and 11.50? On the list, Jess, coming very, very soon.
Yeah.
Fatif is talking about a repricer that is checking in competitor stock levels and saying it's going to be a great repricer. It's not, because it's not going to be in business for very long.
Where are we talking? Oh, you're going. I can't see the chat. I can't see what you say. I think you need to read it out for replay people so they can see what you're saying.
Okay, he's just saying that one of the repricers on the market is checking competitor inventory levels, and that they're going to be the best repricer, but they're not, because they're not going to be in business for very long. Because if it's against Amazon terms of service, Amazon will just click it off. They'll just delete it. They'll just stop using MWS keys, and it won't have, and it won't be in business. So it won't. There's a way to do that is appropriate and proper. Trust me, we will do it.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. We'll do whatever if we find an allowed, legal, proper way to do it. We'll do it too. So don't worry about that. If there's a way, we'll do it. So don't worry about that. But if somebody's doing something naughty, then it's only a matter of time until boom, and then what? Yeah,
then they'll pull the plug. Okay, so Radu says, actually, in my opinion, at the moment, there is no better ratio value for money better than PPP. Absolutely. Quite right.
No, and that's true. We've seen it. Everybody put the prices up within the last year. Like, all the main competitors were a little bit more expensive than us. And now all the main competitors are a lot more expensive than us, because they've all put the price up. They've all gone sky high. And that's fair enough. We're going to have to put our prices up too, because our costs have skyrocketed too. But we've not passed it on, and we never pass it on to you guys. So whatever you pay now, you'll pay forever. So we grandfather prices forever, but we're always reinvesting and always increasing the capabilities. So if you bought on day one, you're going to get the best price. You buy now, you're going to get the best price. You'll never see a cheaper price than right now, but we will grandfather you in. So whatever it goes to, if we do $100, $200, $300 a month option like everybody else is starting to do, then you won't pay that. You'll pay what it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Amajet says, are we going to talk about how algorithms work? We can cover that a little bit later. We've covered that in previous Profit Protector Pro training. So we're not specifically here to talk about how algorithms work, but if you've got some questions, then add them in the chat, and absolutely we will cover your questions. But if you go back and have a look at, we've done I think this is the third one we've done a Profit Protector Pro. We've covered in quite a lot of detail strategies in some of the other ones. So today we're focusing more on like the custom strategies and algorithms and automations rather than how the algorithms work. But we do cover it a little bit in the next video, yes. Okay, so Fia says, is there a limit to how many listings will be on PPP at any one time? There is, because we offer different subscription levels. So you can either pay to have like 1,000 listings or 5,000 listings. So you can have whatever amount you want to. If it's not on the website and not available for the size that you want, then you just need to shoot us an email at info@profitprotectorpro.com and we can help from there. Okay, you go.
Okay. Fatih says, I'm not Fatih, sorry, I probably said your name wrong. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying they are bad. They are adding value to their product every single day. That's why we are here. I stopped using BQ a few weeks ago. Well, glad to see you with us. I'm not going to say your name again, just in case I'm saying it wrong. Fatih? I don't know how you say that. Okay. Brian says, thank you. That was very insightful. Paul says, feature request, time of day changes, price and or trading strategy. Example, at 7:30, switch to penny under buy box. Then at 10:30, switch to Banner strategy. Paul, we've got automations coming. Full version 2 automations coming real soon. They are being worked on right now. We've got a full-time dev that's just working on that feature. So that is coming super soon. Florian's just answering another question in the chat. Right, shall we get to another video?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just tell Amajit that the link to the previous training sessions, they are on YouTube. Profit Protector Pro YouTube channel. You will find the other ones, or I'm sure Holly will drop in some links as well to be helpful. So, she all right doing that?
The dev's using my laptop right this second.
Oh, the dev's using a laptop right this second. They've logged in, so I don't know what that's about.
All right,
we'll get to it,
yeah, we'll do that later. So,
right, which one do you want, Karen? Analysis page?
No.
Bulk inventory?
No.
Custom strategies?
Yes, please.
Let's go.
So I'm super excited to share with you tonight on the webinar the training about custom strategies and automations. Now, not only because it's a really, really exciting feature, but also because this is version 1 of this feature, and we are going to add to it and grow it massively over the coming weeks and months. So let me just dive into how it's working now, and then after the video, you can come back and ask us questions and give us your views on it and things about how you'd like it done differently or what you'd like us to add, you know, and we can collate all that information and add it in as well. So we can really make it exactly how you want it to work. So let's talk you through what it does. So building strategies is, as you can probably imagine, a hugely complicated thing. There are literally thousands of different scenarios that it could do in different situations. There's so much different information. So we've tried to condense that into asking you all the key questions, and then we plug the bits that, like the other bits that you're not telling us exactly what you want us to do for. Because we literally, if we sent you like 1,000 questions, you'd be like, oh my God, Karen, you know, get a life. So we've condensed it all to make it as simple as possible. So let me go through it. So you'll find the custom strategies up here on your Profit Protector Pro bar. And then you can see here's just a test one that we did previously. And you've got your strategy name, your description, and you can, you know, use these to sort it, all the information. Your last edited date, whether it's active, and that means whether it is showing in your list of strategies when you go to reprice. So if that's not active, it won't show in there. And if it is active, it will show in there. And then you've got your actions. So you've got an information, which basically just tells you everything about what your strategy is, and I'll show you that at the end. And then you've got an edit button, so you can go through and edit it if you want to, and obviously a delete button. And if you want to do a new one, you start up here with new custom strategy. So what Profit Protector Pro is going to do, it's going to launch a wizard. So it talks you through all those key questions that I mentioned earlier that it needs to know in order to be able to build your strategy for you. And all the way through, you'll see little question marks here. So you can hover over those at any point, and there's good tool tips explaining to you what you need to do and what the question means, where that's relevant. So the first question you've got to answer is, what fulfillment method do you wish to compete with? Now, you may only wish to compete with FBA, you may only wish to compete with MF, or of course you may want to compete with all sellers. So you need to choose which fulfillment method you want Profit Protector Pro to compete with. So if there's MF and FBA sellers on the listing, do you want them to compete with both of those, or just one or the other? What do you want to do? So that's the first question. The most important thing to get right is, who are we competing with? Okay, so where you can select more than one, you have like a next button here. So you can click next. Where you can only select one, it will do it automatically without you needing to push the next button. So question 2, once again, you've got your question mark up here. So what condition do you wish to compete with? Now, obviously, most of you are probably selling new products, so you just click new, but you might not be. You might be selling used goods, and you might need to add in those as well. So you can select all conditions, or you can choose whether you want used or new. So you make a choice about what it is you're selling. Obviously, if you're selling used, then you can choose which ones you want to. If you want used goods and used very good, you can click them on and off. So you can toggle them up, just literally buttons. So you don't have to just choose one. If you're selling used, you can choose which ones you want. You can add them up together if you want to. And so I'm going to compete with used goods and used very good. for instance, and maybe used like new as well. So then you can click the next button and go on to the next one. So question 3. So this is talking about what should PPP do in this scenario? So there is no buy box. So it's a suppressed buy box. So there is no buy box. But there are other sellers with your selected fulfillment method and condition. So what would you want Profit Protector Pro to do in this scenario? So you could say maybe go to max, or you could say you want it to match other sellers' low price. So where it says this, other sellers, low price, mid price, high price, what it's doing is if you choose that, so it's literally, if you choose FBA, so you're looking at the lowest FBA price, the middle FBA price, and the highest FBA price. And that's literally what you're looking at. Same as if you choose MF, then it would come up with, you know, the same, exactly the same. So the lowest price is literally the lowest price of that condition and that fulfillment method. So whether it's FBA or MF, whether it's the mid price or whether it is the highest price. So there's no buy box, and there are other sellers that match our fulfillment method and condition. So you could choose to say match mid FBA price maybe, or match low FBA price. Or you could say, I want to go £1 or $1 or over break even, and I want to do that by £10 or $10. So you could choose to go over your break even. I mean, you wouldn't really want to go under your break even. You're going to want to go over your break even. You could just match other sellers' FBA. You could go to your maximum. You could go to your break even. You can go to your minimum, or you could choose to go over by a percentage if you wanted to. So you could go over break even, or you can go over other sellers' prices in terms of, you know, which ones of these you wanted. Then you can choose FBA or MF. So me personally, there's no buy box, and there are other sellers. I would probably match maybe a mid FBA seller, if assuming I was an FBA seller. Now you've got to remember that Profit Protector Pro will never go under your minimum. So even if you say match low price FBA, it will match the lowest FBA seller, but it will still never go underneath your minimum. So you're always protected by that. It will never go underneath your minimum. And that applies to the custom strategies as well. So that's probably what I would do. No buy box. There are other sellers. So obviously the other sellers haven't managed to create a buy box at the price that they are. So you could match the low one, but that's probably not going to create a buy box, because if that was, that wouldn't be the scenario. So I would probably go over break even by however much profit I wanted. So your break even is where you don't make or lose money. It's that middle ground where you just sell for nothing and you just nothing happens. So I would go over by $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever it is that the cost of your product is appropriate. So I would probably do that and see if that lets Profit Protector Pro get a buy box. So it will try and do that with, you know, working through what you've chosen here. So let's go £5 or $5 over break even. So next. So this one, there is no buy box and there are no other sellers. So we have it to ourselves, but there is a suppressed buy box. So what do we want to do in that scenario? So in that scenario, potentially you could go to maximum and you could leave it there for a while and then get Profit Protector Pro to change that later on down the road if other sellers come onto the listing. So you could start there. You're probably not going to create a buy box potentially at your maximum, because your maximum is probably quite high for that product. But you might do, you never know. There might only be no buy box because there are no other sellers. So it might be that when you add that in, actually Amazon's quite flexible with the buy box. You won't know until you try. So if you're going to maximum, for instance, and then come back to that later if you wanted to. Obviously, you've got all the same options here if you wanted to do any of the other ones that we spoke about on the previous question. But here I would probably start with go to max and see if I can get sales at maximum price. Who knows? You might be able to. And then change it, you know, a month down the road or something like that if more sellers come onto the listing. So I'm going to go to maximum. Okay. So what should Profit Protector Pro do in this scenario? So there is a buy box and there are other sellers with selected fulfillment method and condition, right? So there's a buy box and there are other sellers. Okay, so typical Amazon listing really. There's a buy box, it's $9.99 or whatever it is, and there's lots of competition. So what do I want Profit Protector Pro to do? So I might want it to match the buy box. I might want it to match other sellers' low price. I might want to go over the buy box or over the break even. So you've got all these options of things that you can do. So there is a buy box and there are other sellers. So what do you want to do? So I'm going to match buy box. Okay. So what should PPP do in this scenario? So there is a buy box and there are no other sellers. So now there is a buy box, but there are no other sellers. So what do I want to do? What do I want it to do? That. So obviously there are other sellers on there, or there would be a buy box, but they're not matching your selected fulfillment method and condition. So it might only be like if you're an FBA seller, for instance, this might be a scenario where there is a buy box. It's with the MF seller at $9.99 or whatever. And what do you want Profit Protector Pro to do in that scenario? So if I'm an FBA seller, my answer to this question would be different than if I was an MF seller. Because if I'm an FBA seller, then you'll know that if there's a buy box, but there's no other sellers with the selected fulfillment method and condition, that they're probably MF sellers. So if that's the case, I'm probably going to potentially go to Max because, you know, I'm going to be the only FBA seller potentially. Or you might say, no, actually, I'm going to match that buy box, which if you're an FBA seller, you might be a little bit bonkers to do, but you might want to get rid of your stock. So you might be trying to do that. Or you might want to go over the buy box by £5. So let's say we're going to go over the buy box by £5 or $5 because we think the buy box is with an MF seller and because we're selling new products. So we think that that's going to be the right thing to do there. So we're going to go over the buy box by £5 or $5. Okay, next. So we won the buy box. Fabulous, great, wonderful. What repricing action do you want to take? So what do you want to do? You've got the buy box. That's great. So do you want Profit Protector Pro to literally just match that buy box? So do you want to go to your minimum? You'd be a bit bonkers to do that, but maybe you do want to. Or do you just want to stay matching the buy box, which is probably a fairly sensible action to take. So you have the buy box. What repricing action do you want to take? Probably just match buy box is a good option because then, you know, if another seller takes the buy box from you, then, you know, Profit Protector Pro will be trying to share that buy box with them. So I'm going to match the buy box. So that's really the end of the custom strategies and how you build your custom strategy. But what we've got here as well, and what we've added into this, is automations. Now, we are going to separate those two out. So in a little while, later on this summer, they won't be together. They will be separate things. Obviously, the strategies that you've already built that include like automations will still be there. Don't worry, we'll save all your strategies. We're not going to delete them all. But we're going to split these out because we want you to be able to apply an automation to any strategy, not just the custom strategies. So we want you to be able to say, okay, so, you know, this one I've got on balanced. I don't want to keep it on balanced. After 2 months, I want to move it to super aggressive, or I'm going to have it on cautious and see if I can get the most money as possible because there's not many sellers. But if the sellers increase, then I'm going to move it to balanced. So we want you to be able to apply that to any strategy. So we are going to split these out and have them separate. But for now, as I explained, this is just version 1 of what we're going to do. So version 1 says they're together at the minute. So what would you like? The question is, would you like to change strategy once your product has been for sale for X period of time? So I might say, yes, I want to change my strategy when it's been for sale for 2 months, maybe. So 2 months after my product has been for sale, and you can choose what you want here. So 2 months later, I want to switch it, and I want to switch it to an FBA strategy, and I'm going to switch it to balanced because I want to give it a go on my custom strategy first. But if it doesn't work and I'm not as good as building strategies as I think I am, I'm going to switch it to balance, which I know really works well for me. Or it might be, okay, well, I'm going to match the buy box. I'm just going to switch to a basic strategy of do what it says on the tin, match buy box. You know, or I'm going to change my price. So I'm going to make it so it goes over my break even by £3 or $3 or whatever. once it's been for sale for 2 months. So you've got all these different options of what you can do, and you can change your strategies. You can change what you want it to match. You can change by what you're doing, your percentages or your pounds and dollars. So you've got lots of options. So I'm going to switch strategies. I'm an FBA seller, so I'm going to choose an algorithmic strategy, and I'm going to switch to balanced. Okay. So would you like to change your strategy if the seller numbers on your listing increase? So if I suddenly get an influx of sellers, do I want to change my strategy? Yeah, absolutely I do, please. So how many sellers need to be on that listing to take action? So you can think, okay, well, if there's more than 10 sellers, I'm gonna try and get rid of my stock. Or if there's more than 10 sellers, I'm going to go to maximum actually, and I'm going to, wait it out. So you can say, okay, 10 sellers. Okay, so what should PPP do in this scenario? 10 other sellers now match your selected fulfillment and condition. So what do you want to do? So I'm going to go to maximum, and I'm going to sit it out and wait, because they're going to tank the listing, and I don't need to be part of that, because I know that this product sells really well and they can all do their crazy tanking, and I'm going to sit here at maximum, and then when they've all sold out, I'm going to make great profit on my products. So I'm going to go to maximum. So then it says, would you like to change your strategy if your stock falls below a certain number? So I think, do I want to change my strategy if my stock falls below? No, I don't think I do particularly. So you just click no. Obviously, I'm going to click yes for this because I want to show you what it says. So you can say yes. Okay, so what level should your stock reach before you make a change? And you might say, okay, well, I don't want to run out of stock, so I'm going to make my price high if I'm getting low on stock so that I've got time to restock. Or you might say, well, actually, if I'm running out of stock, I'm going to get rid of them so I can get it closed and delete the listing, because I've heard that there might be, issues coming our way in terms of IP complaints or something. So I'm just going to get rid and close my listing. So if my stock level reaches 5, let's say, I'm going to switch strategy, and I am going to go to super aggressive dominator. And I'm just going to get rid because I want to close the listing. Or you might say, no, actually, I'm going to go to my maximum because I'm going to sit it out and wait while I can restock so that I don't run out of stock for this async, because I really like having it. So you can choose what you want to do there. So let's say we're going to go to maximum. Okay, so this is the last question in the custom strategies and automations. When I first mentioned right at the beginning, so what we want to know really is what your intention is for that strategy, so we can fill in the gaps that make the best sense for you. So are you aggressively pursuing sales with this strategy? Are you happy to share the sales and kind of protect your profit a bit? Or is it really profit focused? So just let us know what your intention is so we can fill in those blanks and just make them make sense for you where appropriate. So I'm going to go in the middle and say happy to share the sales and protect my profit. So then you get the opportunity to name your strategy. So let's just call it test 2. Describe your strategy, the best strategy ever. Okay, and then we are going to save our strategy. Right, so here it is, our best strategy ever. So if you wanted to come back into here and you wanted to change something or look at something, you can go in here. So if you click on the info icon, then it will go through and show you all the answers to your questions, so you can see exactly how you answered everything. And if you want to edit it, you just click on the edit button and it will take you back all the way through, and you can change whatever you want to change, and it will highlight what it is that you chose last time. So you've got, and obviously if you want to delete one, then you've got the power to do that as well. So that's the custom strategies and automations. And I can't wait to hear all your questions on this and all your feedback on this as well. Because as I say, this is just version 1. We've got, so much exciting stuff to come to this as we build it out and change it and grow it and improve it. But it's already an amazing thing to have. And people are getting great results building their own strategies in exactly the way that they want to have them. So back now to us for some questions.
Here we go. Hello.
Here we are.
Hello again. Fancy seeing you here.
Not weird.
Really weird. Right. Where was the last questions?
Okay, so the next question is, Denise and Adam would like us to integrate with Inventory Lab. Denise and Adam, we have contacted Inventory Lab. We are very happy to integrate with Inventory Lab. We've got the API all ready to go. We've yet to hear back from them. Well, they messaged us back once, but we haven't heard back from their developers yet. So I don't know where that's got to. So we can chase that up. But it would be great if you both message Inventory Lab and tell them that you want them to, you know, work with us, because the more people that ask them, the more likely they are to do it. So send them an email. We're ready. We're happy to do it. We've contacted them. We've asked them. So, you know, hurry them up.
Yeah, go and tell them you should integrate with Profit Protector Pro. More people that say that to them, the more likely they are to answer us and send the devs. Because at the end of the day, they've got limited dev time, just like we've got limited dev time. You can only do so much. They'll have long lists of features they're creating, and adding us into their software is probably not high priority for them. So ultimately, if you guys go knocking on the door and everyone keeps saying it, it's more likely to go up their list of priorities. So yeah, we're more than happy to integrate. We'd love to, and we will do so as soon as they're up for it as well. So go knocking.
Absolutely. So Debbie says, for the automation, does that mean after X months with no sales or after X months with sales? So Debbie, that's a great question. And at the moment, it just means after X month, irrespective of sales.
Yeah.
So Holly, can you grab that? Because that would be a great one to add in to the features. And that's something we want to add in so that we've got the ability to change it after sales or not after sales. And that would be great to add into the next version or the one after that, whatever. So
yeah,
we're
really nice. Really nice, relatively simple tweak to make that will make it a lot more powerful. So thanks for that, Debbie. Great.
Yeah. Tim says, I'm missing something here, I think. The main purpose I use a repricer is to maximize profit and sales. How could using my own custom strategy be better than using one of the already tried and tested algorithmic strategies? Go for it, Matt.
I've got an answer for this that I don't think you'll like, Karen. And I mentioned it to Ollie while that video was playing. But my answer to that is, look, for most people, you won't want to use a custom strategy. Don't bother. If it was me, I would be using the Profit Protector Pro algorithmic strategies out the box. You don't need to touch them, in my opinion, because I'm not the guy that wants a hard life and wants to tweak here and tweak there and do this and do that. I'm the guy that wants easy. And those strategies are so powerful, you can just use them out of the box. You don't even need to bother with this stuff. But for those that do like to tweak and just do specific things, we're building this feature for you guys. So it's not going to be for everyone. Custom strategy is super exciting for people that want it and super uninteresting for people that don't. But honestly, whichever way you go, super powerful. But yeah, our algorithmic strategies will tick the box for 99% of people. So you don't need to. If you don't see the points in, just don't use them. What would you have answered that with, Karen? I bet that's a different answer to yours, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's exactly the same. I think that it's an amazing feature to have. And some people love to have complete control over what a repricer does. And that's just different personalities behaving in a different way. If I was using Profit Protector Pro, I'd use the algorithmic strategies. I wouldn't do custom strategies. But then I'm not somebody that wants to get into that level of detail. I just want to buy my repricer and I want my repricers to do all that thinking for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think if you came from a rules-based repricer, a lot of them, you have to do that stuff or it doesn't do much for you. It doesn't really do any. If you don't build something, you don't really get great results because it's just like really garbage stuff. But like the algorithms are really smart and like the core technology that's baked into PPP, set it up, let it go do its thing. Like set your mins, set your maxes, choose your algorithmic strategy and leave it. Only thing I'll be tweaking is coming back a week or two later and having a look and go, right, okay, how are we getting on? Okay, maybe I'll tweak my minimum or maximum, or I'll just change strategy or something like that. With our now mobile app, so you could do it. You don't even have to log into the desktop. We're the first and, as far as I'm aware, only repricer in the world to have a mobile app that works on Android and on Apple. So you can literally do it while you're in bed.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ankit asks, adding to Debbie's question, will PPP take into account that the product has been replenished? And does it go back to 0 months and recalculate the months after replenishing? So Ankit, this isn't necessarily, when you're building a custom strategy, you would choose what ASIN you applied it to. You wouldn't necessarily build a custom strategy for every ASIN. you would build a collection that you wanted to use, and then you'd choose which one you wanted to use on what ASIN. So it would be for you to choose to make your custom strategy, and then you choose whether it's doing anything in terms of working on listings that are replenished or not. So you'd make that decision after you'd built your strategy. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's super clear to everyone, but if you create a custom strategy, it becomes a selectable strategy and the strategies drop down. So instead of just having algorithmic strategies and the rule-based strategies, you'll also have your strategies there. So you can apply it to listings or not apply it to listings as you like. And again, I don't know if that answers the question either, but something I picked up whilst I was watching the video, I thought, oh, what if people don't realize where it is because we didn't show you like where it comes up? But basically your strategy is listed in the drop down. So you can just drop it down, choose your strategy.
Okay, so Kay says, do you have to go through that questionnaire wizard for every item in your inventory? I think we probably just answered that. No, Kay. That's to set up a strategy, and then it would appear, as Matt says, in your list of strategies, and then you choose it for whichever one you wanted to use.
Yeah, so you create the strategy once, and it sits there, and you can select it for as many or as few listings as you want. Can you make it your default strategy as well, Karen?
I would think so. But
we don't know the answer. We don't know the answer to that, but presumably you can make it your default strategy. So you could create your own custom strategy and then make it your default strategy, and then it would apply to all new listings out of the box. I think. And if not, we can add that later.
Okay, so Paul says, got a feature request. We'd like to be able to monitor more than one ASIN for price. Example, if we have 2 times multi-bundles, we would like to be able to track the price of another ASIN, the single product listing, and follow the price at some percentage. Would this be possible?
I don't think it currently does it.
No, it doesn't currently do it, but I don't see why we couldn't do that, assuming you were selling both products, Paul. If you're selling both products, then we can get the information from Amazon about both products, and then we'd be able to do that. I don't know if we can do it if you're only selling one of them. Maybe not. We'd have to look into that with the devs.
Yeah, it's something we need to take a look at.
But if you're selling both of those ASINs, Paul, then yes, we can do it. We don't yet, but we'll add it on and get it done.
Ankit says, question 3, there is no buy box and there are other sellers, and with the selective fulfillment method and condition, can this match all sellers instead of FBA or FBM only?
Yes, you go right back to the beginning of the wizard. That's question 1, Ankit. So when you set up your strategy, you would choose all sellers.
Boom. Paul says, we are already sharing the buy box 50-50 with another seller at the same price, and the other seller is not using any repricer. We would like more buy box percentage, but don't want to encourage a price war. How would PPP be useful to us in this situation? Right, I've got an answer for this one. Paul, this is what I would do in your situation, right? I'm not Karen will be better to advise on which strategy to use, but set your minimum at your current buy box price, because if there's only you and the other seller that's selling that thing, set your minimum at the current sell price, and then apply a strategy that Karen's going to say next, which will, when you get that buy box, which by the sounds of it might not be rotating 50-50 perfectly, but you are going to get it because right now you are getting some buy box action already. So it won't have to go below your minimum to fish it. It will get it anyway. And when it does, it will drive up the price. And obviously then it's more likely that the other seller will go, hang on, this person's selling it for more, so maybe I'll drive up my price. And you never know, maybe you'll both do it and he'll do it manually. But if not, when you get your rotation of the buy box at the same price as is, PPP will learn the listing and will drive the price up. And then at some point, it will probably lose the buy box back again, but then it won't come back all the way down. It'll find it back where it left off and then keep doing this. So you'll be selling up here, and you'll see a lot of your sales coming in through here, and he'll be selling down here until he realizes what's going on. And he might just go, you know what, let's do that. And then you'll both do that. And that's the moment where you might want to increase your min price again to what he's selling at. Because if he's not using a repricer and he's playing nice and playing fair, that's the perfect kind of competition and a perfect example of PPP able to actually help you both. It will help him. So it won't undercut him. It'll help him. So set your min on his price, and then let it do its thing. Karen, what repricing strategies should he try? 1 or 2?
Cautious or balanced. Cautious would be my favorite for that.
So try cautious, try balanced. So go do it, Paul. Set your minimum on the current sell price. Put it on cautious or balanced. You're not going to start a price war. If anything, he's going to be super happy with you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, hang on, why is that person selling for $5 or £5 more than me when they've always shared it? And they might go, okay, I'm putting my price up too. And then it might just be lovely.
I think in fact, I might even go for dynamic. So I might even go one higher than cautious. I might even go for dynamic on that situation.
So try dynamic, try cautious, try balanced. Any of them is probably going to give you lovely results, because that sounds like a really nice situation and a great situation whereby you don't just want to leave it to it. You want to manage that a little bit. Make sure your minimum's no lower than him. And maybe that's something that we can put in a future automation or something like that, so that it can do it automatically for you. Yeah, but yeah, it sounds like a great situation to be in. I think you're going to drive that price up with PPP.
Absolutely. So we missed a question from Alvin. So if you had 2 custom strategies running together, will this potentially mess things up? Better to only run one at a time. Okay, Alvin, so you can build 100 custom strategies if you like. You'll only be able to select one strategy per ASIN. So as long as that ASIN, that ASIN will run on whatever strategy you want. So if you fancy building custom strategies, then build to your heart's content. Go for it. You can build as many as you like. You can only allocate one to any one ASIN.
Yeah, so you won't mess anything up. You can make as many as you want. One of your strategies will apply to one particular ASIN. So if you make 3 strategies, you can't apply 3 strategies to one thing, so don't worry. The strategy only applies to the ASINs that you turn it on for. So you create the strategy, and then you can apply that to as many or as few ASINs as you like in your account. Hopefully that all makes sense. I kind of just repeated what Karen said in different words.
Okay, so Charmaine says, do you have to answer those questions for each ASIN, or is that applicable to all? That's per strategy. So for every custom strategy you want to build, you would go through that wizard and answer the questions. But if you don't have a particular situation where you want to build a custom strategy, then use the algorithmic strategies within Profit Protector Pro, because they're amazing. So you only want to be using custom strategies if you're a complete, like if you're a bit of a control freak and you like to know everything that Profit Protector Pro is going to do.
Sorry, Karen, I would like to add to that actually we've got some users doing the custom strategies that had massive success with the algorithmic strategies, and they were like, this is even better. So we don't want to make out that you won't get a lift from custom strategies. You may well do so. You might create something amazing that just like hits it out the park for you. So we don't want to discourage that, but you don't need to, is the message. You really don't need to. The algorithmic strategies that are in there are excellent.
Yeah, it's personal choice. Yeah, it's just personal choice. And you might want to use, some algorithmic strategies and some custom strategies on certain listings. So you'd build them for certain things or certain scenarios where you want more control.
Yeah, there might be one weird little use case whereby, I don't know, there's just one particular ASIN that's a little bit sticky that you want to do something really specific with, and you might just create a custom strategy just for that one listing. But ultimately, you don't need to. Just it's a free choice thing. But you create this strategy once, and then you can apply it to as many listings in the future as you like.
Okay. So Fatis says, I'm using Balanced Sales Accumulator as my default strategy. Great. I'm happy with that rule, to be honest, but that would be amazing if I could customize that strategy and add inventory stock feature as a custom strategy. Okay, so what you'll be able to do is add an automation to Balanced Sales Accumulator. So custom strategies are going to be different to automation. So custom strategies where you want to build your own strategy. Automation is when you want Profit Protector Pro to do something different after a certain period of time, or when there's a certain number of people come on your listings, or if your stock gets to a certain number. So they're different things. And the automations, we are already 3/4 of the way through building the automations as a separate feature. So you'll be able to use Balanced and add in an automation that says, when my stock level reaches this, do this instead. So you'll be able to add all of that in, coming very, very soon.
So basically, right now, custom strategies and version 1 automations are the same thing, but we're changing that. So automations will be a standalone thing, and custom strategies will be a standalone thing. So you'll be able to apply automations to anything in your account, even algorithmic or rules-based strategies. You'll be able to apply the automations to anything and everything. Right now, the automations are only part of the custom strategies, but we are separating them out real soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Melinda says, would you love to see profit ROI calculator added to the min-max boxes? Having to manually calculate takes a lot of time. Any plans for this? Loving the rest of PPP so far.
Okay, so Melinda, one of the things that I was going to tell you later, one of the sneak peeks that I was going to give you later, is to let you know that we are building profit ROI things into Profit Protector Pro, so you will be able to see all that information that you need.
Yeah, so we're on it, Melinda. Don't worry, it's coming. And like we say, price you pay is the price you pay. We never put your prices up. So once we add all these sexy features we've talked about tonight, and tons we haven't talked to you about, and we've not told anybody, something, a game changer coming. Nobody else in the world's got it, and it's so, so good. And that's coming. And when that goes in, the price is definitely going up, but it won't go up to you guys. So as long as you stay a customer, you pay the price and it gets locked in. So you've seen all these repricers putting the prices up. Some repricers that a year ago were like reasonable price, $50, $60 a month, and now like $200, $300 a month for the same thing. And like everybody's shooting the prices up, but we don't do that. We won't increase your price. We'll lock you in. We'll grandfather you in. So all this sexy stuff coming is yours, included in the price. Just to let you know, don't want to scare anyone with price increases. You won't have to pay them. If you're watching this in 2025, chances are you're paying a lot more, but it'll still be the cheapest you'll ever see it. So even if it's 2025 when you're watching this, you're still better off getting it right now in 2025 than you are in 2027. All right.
Okay, so Debbie says, I'm trying to remember, does PPP let me set something like reprice to minimum X% as long as it's at least dollars white? Yes, you can do that. That you can do that in the automate, where how you automate your mins and maxes. That's all in there, Debbie. So have a look in there. If that doesn't answer your question, then reach out to us at support and we can go through it in a little bit more detail for you.
I want to answer this one. In fact, Karen probably answer this one too. Paul says, would it be possible to get a more detailed explanation of PPP's algorithmic strategies, like a flowchart diagram or something, so we can understand exactly what they are trying to do? The algorithmic strategies feel like a black box at the moment, and that's scary. Eeps. Do you want to answer it, Karen? I want to see if you. No, I want to see if you'd answer it the same way as I'd answer it.
Okay, so Paul, the answer to that question is we've tried to give you an explanation of what each of those strategies do on the strategies page. So if you go and have a look on the strategies page, it will give you an explanation of what it does. But we do have flowchart diagrams of what every single one of our strategies does. But if we share that with you, you can be sure that Profit Protector Pro algorithms, because they're so special and they do such magic things, they will very quickly appear in every other repricer. And I can't let that happen. Honestly, that will keep me up at night. That will stress me out massively, because when we do something, people copy. So we do something, somebody else copies us. And if we were to give out a flowchart of all our strategies, they would be gone immediately. They're unique points to Profit Protector Pro.
Yeah.
They took months and months of hard work to build, because building a strategy is not easy, especially something as detailed as those algorithmic strategies. And I don't want to see Profit Protector Pro strategies in a competitor product because they stole them from a flowchart. Not saying you'd share them with them, but I mean, if we're selling them out, they'll get hold of them. And that would just break my heart. So no.
Frankly speaking, it was almost, imagine like being an inventor and you're trying to invent the light bulb and you end up inventing a space rocket. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to invent something relatively simple, the light bulb, and you invent something amazing. That's kind of what happened. We were trying to do X and we developed X times 10. Now, not everybody understands that, and we have not communicated that to everybody yet, but people that use Profit Protector Pro realize it does something special. So to the point whereby people that haven't used it deny that it can even do the things it does, but it doesn't. And we've got tons of testimonials, tons of screenshots, tons of proof that it can increase the buy box price without losing the buy box to much cheaper sellers. And it happens all the time. Not every sale, not every listing, not all, but honestly, it happens. It's not a rare event. It happens a lot. And it was almost like a eureka moment and like a, wow, oh my God, what have we created here? And we don't want to lose that. So we'd love to give you the information from an informational point of view, but it's proprietary secret. So unfortunately, we won't be publishing them documents outside of our team.
But we probably can change the page to make it more explanatory.
Yeah, we could probably, Ollie's just said, we could probably change the page to make it more explanatory as to kind of the effects that the strategies will have without giving you a flow chart.
We can improve the page without.
Yeah, we could probably improve it. Yeah, she's saying we could probably improve it. So maybe we could do that. Maybe we could improve the page. But ultimately, Like we get copied left, right, and center. We do stuff, somebody copies it, and then they make out they invented it. It's like, no, we invented that. You copied it, but you make it out to everybody you did. But it's all right. It's what it is. It's the game. But things like that we keep under wraps. Next question.
So Ankit says, feature request, when will the custom strategy be available to upload via CSV for asins?
Already available, Holly just said.
Yeah.
Holly deals directly with the dev. She's kind of like, director of operations. And she very much has day-to-day contact with all the devs across all our different software projects.
So
There's Mozzie. Is it getting you as well? It's because we've got the windows open and there's a river just at the back of our house. We can't see it, unfortunately, but there's a river just there. So in the evening, all the mozzies come and we have to close all the things in summer. It sucks.
That's why I've got like a roll neck jumper on in the middle of summer, because I got attacked by mozzies and I look like Dracula's bride. My neck looks awful.
Can you see my thumb there? I don't know if something bit me today.
Looks like it.
Can you see?
Yeah. Looks red.
It's like purpley black and lumpy, and it's because something bloody bit me outside or something today. Not in the house. It was on the walk to the shop.
That's attractive.
I know, yeah. I was in the shop and like, I didn't know if I'd hurt myself or broke my thumb. I didn't know what had happened, but I was like, and it's like it just went black and swelled up, didn't it? It must have been bit by something. Anyway,
today says, if we get to upgrade to more listings in the future, will we be paying the new higher price for that plan at that time? Should I just upgrade now so I'm locked in?
No, we'll look after you. We'll look after you. If you upgrade to a future price, we'll upgrade you at the current price. So as long as you stay a client customer, as long as you stay a user of Profit Protector Pro, we will look after you. We'll never put your price up. So if you jump from 1,000 listings to 5,000 listing plan, we'll look after you at that point. I could have said the opposite, couldn't I? I could have got you to lock in or upgrade now, but that's not our style. We want you to stay with us for years. We want you to have a sustainable long-term business and you to win. And if you win, we all win. And that's what we want. So, yeah, we'll look after you. Don't worry.
Absolutely. So Brian says, you guys are amazing. Thank you. I just signed up for PPP 10 minutes before this live stream. Brian, I'm sure you're going to love Profit Protector Pro. It's going to do great things for your business. And I'm sure you're going to absolutely love it.
Bless you, Brian. Any trouble setting up, any settings issue, anything like that, reach out. We've got a great support team, super helpful. And you can say, Matt and Karen says you got to really help me. And they'll help you extra special good.
So Charmaine says, when are you thinking of increasing your prices again? Very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Me and Karen lives like a 2.5 hour drive away from me. And we are meeting up tomorrow for the day. And that is going to be one of the things on a long list to discuss, but very, very soon. So yeah, very soon. But we'll lock you in. So if you buy now, we won't increase your price ever. Even if it goes $200, $300, like everybody else seems to be doing. Even if we go up there, you'll still just be paying the whatever it is, £36 a month or whatever it is.
Right. So Ankit says he can now see the custom strategies in CSV. So that's good. Donna says, do you have any advice on setting min-max manually? I have ASINs with different ROI goals and monetize and utilize manually entering the min-max more often than a set min-max percentage or amount. I would say, Donna, use the bulk inventory because that will be quicker to set it all up for you or make it really simple. Advice on setting them, I would suggest that you set your minimum at whatever your break even is plus whatever profit you want for each one. So just look at what your break even is. Profit Protector Pro works that out for you. So look at your break even and then add on whatever profit you want. Your maximum, if you've got BuyBot Pro, then have a look at BuyBot Pro and look at whatever the highest selling product, like the highest selling price that product sold for in the last 90 days or whatever, and use that as your maximum, because you don't want to go too high, because Profit Protector Pro will use your minimum and your maximum when it's trying to get you sales at a higher price. It will use those figures. So you want to make sure your maximum is a fair maximum, not going bonkers, because otherwise Amazon will just deactivate your listing. So make sure that your price, if you've got a price in Amazon, that is not lower in Amazon than it is on Profit Protector Pro, because Amazon will just deactivate your listing if you do that. So I would say that's what I would do. Look at your break even, add your profit for your minimum, and look at how like the highest selling product for that ASIN, high selling price for that ASIN, and use that as your maximum.
Yeah. So Ankit, I think Ollie's seen, she said, Ankit says thanks. Ollie's nodding and saying, yeah, she's giggling. Yeah, and she also says we've got chat support on Profit Protector Pro. So you can chat to the team on profitprotectorpro.com, the little chat thing in the bottom right corner, or you can email us at info@profitprotectorpro.com. And we've got 24-hour mostly support, near enough 24-hour support. And you could also go to the Profit Protector Pro Facebook group. Right, shall we hit another video, Karen?
Okay, we haven't finished the questions yet.
No, sorry, go on then.
Okay, so Debbie says, are you going to discuss the profit ROI calculations? I don't know if you mean that we're going to discuss them tomorrow or if we're going to discuss them tonight on the webinar. We're not going to discuss them particularly tonight on the webinar because we haven't yet decided exactly what format that's going to take, and that's one of the discussions that Matt and I will have tomorrow. So, you know, that was one of the sneak peeks I was going to give you, and say we are adding them. I don't know quite what the format's going to look like yet. We're going to design that tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll let you know soon.
Right. Nice. Thanks for the questions, guys. Right, let's hit another video and cover something else. So which one do you want to do? Bulk inventory or analysis page?
I think we'll do the bulk inventory because I think that will help people as well.
Right, ready. Let's do this, folks. See you in a minute.
The bulk inventory management tool within Profit Protector Pro is really, really simple to use. So let me take you through it. You've got 3 videos here which show you depending on what sort of computer you've got. So if you're using Windows and you want to use Excel, you watch that video. If you're using Mac with numbers, you watch that video. And if you want to use Google Sheets, you watch that video. Now I've got a Mac, so I am going to demonstrate this with numbers and a Mac and show you how it works. So the first thing to say is you've got the opportunity to download your full inventory or just your in-stock inventory. So if you're already a Profit Protector Pro customer and you just want to download your inventory and you want to just change your minimums or whatever and do them in bulk, you choose one of those. If you're new to Profit Protector Pro, then you would choose this blank one, and then you can just copy and paste the data from your old Repricer into this CSV and then upload it straight to Profit Protector Pro. So I'm just going to do the in-stock one here. So we will push that button and you can see it downloading just here. It takes seconds, it's already done. But just before I go into that, I'm just going to show you here. You've got 2 keys. So you've got your marketplaces here, and then all of your strategies have a number. So you can see all the different strategies here, and each one has a corresponding number, which I'll talk to you about when we have a look at this document, which is this one, which it downloaded. So let's open that up. Okay, so there's the document opened up, and you can see you've got your SKU, your ASIN, your minimum price, maximum price, buy price, break even, the marketplace ID, the strategy ID, and the title. Now the marketplace ID and the strategy ID are the ones that we talked about a moment ago that you can see in that list of key. So -100 is just the default strategy. So whatever the default strategy is in your Profit Protector Pro account is the one that I'm using for this. So I've just got one here, as I say, to make it super quick and easy. And I'm going to change my minimum price from £21 to £25. So whether you're pounds or dollars, whatever you are, whichever country, this is a UK one, so it is in pounds. But obviously if you're in the US, it would be in dollars. So £25 there. And then I'm going to do File and Export to CSV. And that's what you need to do if you are on a Mac. Then you need to give your product a title. So PPP download, we can call it. Just going to put it on my desktop. Click Export. And that's now added that to my desktop. So if I go back to Profit Protector Pro, and then I can upload my inventory CSV. So upload it, click upload, select CSV file. We go into the desktop. There's my PPP download that I did. So double click that. Click upload, and it will tell me my CSV has been imported. And if I then go into the inventory page and we have a look at the minimum, you can see the minimum in the UK has changed to £25. So it's as simple as that. So don't try changing too much in there. You can change your strategy, you can change your minimum, and you can change your maximum. Just stick to changing those three things. If you're downloading it and then changing something, you can't change the SKU or something like that, because obviously that comes in all in with Amazon. So you just change your minimum, your maximum, or your strategy if you wanted to. If you wanted to change your strategy, then you need to use that key that I showed you, which is here. And that key, you can just, it's on 100. I could have changed that to 20 or to 10 or to 11 or whatever I wanted to change it to show a different strategy if that's what you were looking to achieve with your download and your upload of your bulk inventory management.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Nice little fast one there.
Yep, absolutely. So I want to answer Adam's question. He said, so when signing up and determining the amount of items, excuse me, are those active listings or total? So I've got two things to say about that, Adam. Is first of all, it's active listings. But if you've got lots of inactive listings in your Amazon account, you are setting yourself up for trouble with IP complaints. So I wouldn't keep lots of listings that aren't active in your account. If I was you, I would go through and delete all of those, because it will help keep your Amazon account safe. So don't just leave them sitting there just in case you want to restock that item. Get rid of them and keep your account safe. And then if and when you do get them again, then just re-add them into Seller Central. Keep your account safe for doing that.
I would listen to that advice as well. And I'll tell you why, because Karen for years now has been helping literally hundreds of clients get unsuspended, because one of the services we offer, and it's an upgrade through BuyBot Pro, but it's called Suspension Safeguard. But she also runs a service called getunsuspended.com, and it basically helps you get unsuspended. So we've literally Karen has literally helped hundreds of sellers get unsuspended. So she knows exactly what gets you suspended and gets you IP complaints and gets you problems, because literally Karen is one of the UK's top experts in suspension. She'll never say that, but I'm saying that because I can say that about her. But it's true. She's been helping people for years now, and she's very good at it. She knows the inside and out of it, helped loads of people. So listen to her. Delete those inactive listings, because otherwise you could get into problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Okay, so Naz says, is this useful for a new business, or would you suggest waiting for a bit? If you've got more than like 10 or 15 SKUs, Naz, Profit Protector Pro will make you more than it costs you. So I would absolutely get yourself locked in now. If you've only got one SKU, then no, you can manage that yourself. But if you've got a few and you're building your business, then get it locked in now before we put that price up, because it will make you way more than it costs you. And you'll realize that when you start to use it and you see the profit boost within Profit Protector Pro and how much extra profit on top of the profit you've already asked for, it's got you just by doing its magic.
Honestly, we've got some users, and obviously these won't be brand new users, but we've got some more established sellers that have got profit boost figures in the thousands, and that's within a few months of using PPP. So with PPP costing 36 quid a month or whatever it is, and I don't know, 40 odd, $50, whatever it is a month, once you see those figures going up, you realize that, wow, it's literally costing me more money not to have PPP than to have it. And when you have that realization, you'll be like, I'm just sold. I'm good forever. And people that have made 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 extra over and above what they'd make with any other repricer are like, well, that's paid for a lifetime subscription right there. So why ever turn it off? So yeah, like Karen says, if you've got one or two SKUs, you're brand new, probably don't need PPP. But as soon as you're up to 10 SKUs and you know you're going to do this seriously, then it makes no sense not to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Adam says, if I delete the listing in Amazon, are they deleted in Profit Protector Pro? I think the answer to that is no, Adam, they're not. I think we left them in Profit Protector Pro. But Holly might tell me differently, because I know there was a discussion happening about this a few weeks ago. But I think they still stay within Profit Protector Pro, even if you delete them in Amazon.
Yeah. Ollie's nodding. We think so. We've not got the devs with us. So the devs would know for certain. But
right. It's if you delete it in Profit Protector Pro, it's not going to delete it in your Seller Central.
If you delete it in Profit Protector Pro, it doesn't delete it in your Seller Central account. if you delete it in your seller's central account, does it delete it in PPP?
No, I'm sure it doesn't.
No. We're saying no. We're going for no. We're going for no on that one, we think.
Okay. So Alvin says he's got seller protection with BuyBot Pro 2. He's hoping it's a service I never have to use, but worth having the protection from the experts. Thanks, Alvin. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Time. Nobody starts selling on Amazon expecting to get suspended. No. But what would we guesstimate, Karen? 10% of sellers do?
Yeah, probably.
So if it's 10% in our experience, and we've serviced like literally hundreds of people that have been suspended. So the truth is most sellers never get suspended. But let's say it is 10% in any 1 year. Well, if there's 1,000 sellers, well, it goes to like 1 year goes by, you got 10%. Well, the next year goes by, it's like another 10% and another. So by the time you've been selling for 10 years, on that average, again, it's not exactly like this and we don't know for certain, but probably means in 10 years, probably everyone will get suspended at some point on average.
Yeah, I think as well, when we started Suspension Safeguard, it was purely for suspensions and nothing else.
Yeah.
But because like obviously people message us and, you know, we love to look after our clients. We don't want to leave any of our clients in the lurch. So people with Suspension Safeguard tend to email us about account health issues as well, not just suspension stuff. So it's kind of grown in what we offer just because that's what people have asked us to do. So it's more than it was right at the beginning as well, and it was already amazing value then.
It's having somebody to reach out to if you've got any concerns that way. So you get a weird little IP complaint, somebody emails you and says something weird, let us know. That's part of the service. Let us know, and our team or Karen will get back to you and tell you, yeah, don't worry about it, or do this or do that, or this is what you need to say. So it's more about having the peace of mind of having someone to contact if you need them.
Absolutely. Okay, so Paul says, got to bounce. Looking forward to watching the rest of the session on YouTube. Thank you, Matt and Karen, for your time and all your answers. Looking forward to those features. Thank you so much. Sorry you were on, Paul. Bye-bye. Okay, Tim says, Adam's question, I like the fact that PPP keeps the listings even after they've been deleted from Amazon. Yeah, I think it's quite helpful. But PPP doesn't issue you IP complaints, so it's quite safe to leave them in PPP, but it's definitely not safe to leave them in Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of our questions. So we can go through the analysis page now and talk you through that and show you that video, and then we'll be back shortly. Okay,
here goes. See you in a minute, folks.
So the analysis page within Profit Protector Pro gives you a snapshot of what's going on in your account and what's going on with your repricing. So you've got your 30-day and your all-time Profit Protector Pro buy box boost. So that's the boost that Profit Protector Pro has given you over the top of the average buy box price. So we've talked about this separately, but if the buy box was at £10 or $10 and Profit Protector Pro got that buy box at $10, drove it up to £14 or $14 and got you sales on the way. And then when it got to 14, say it got you some sales there, and then it lost the buy box and it went back down to 10. So all those sales have contributed, between 10 and 14, have contributed to your Profit Protector Pro boost, because with any other repricer that wouldn't have happened and you wouldn't have got that extra money. You'd have sold at the buy box at £10 or $10, whereas Profit Protector Pro has boosted that, pushed up that price and got you those extra sales and that extra profit on top of whatever you were planning on having anyway with your minimums and your maximums. So that's what the 30-day and the all-time boost is. So we turned on the Profit Protector Pro buy box boost in May 2020. So this is just a fake account with fake detail. So it doesn't mean anything in here, but it gives you examples of how the page works. And this shows you that, £2,471.23 or dollars happened extra over the top of that buy box price since May 2020. So it tells you how many SKUs you've got repricing and how many reprices have been done today. And you can come down here and you can see your overview. So how many of your products need minimum maximum? How many are at the buy box? How many are at the lowest price? And that's where it represents the total amount of ASINs where your listing is currently the lowest price of all listings. So that's what that's telling you. What's at minimum and what's at maximum. So if you come down here, it lets you see what's going on with your products. Obviously, if you've got a lot more, then you'd see a lot more than this. just showing you what exactly is going, because this one's got 1 and it's at minimum, and so that's telling you that you've got 1 at minimum. And then this tells you all about what's happening with your repricing. So you've got at buy box, and you can look at need minimums and maximums. You can have a look at all, what's at the lowest price, what's at the minimum price, and what's at your maximum price. So that gives you a visual view of what's going on with your repricing. And you can come down here and look at your sales. So this is your weekly overview of where your sales have happened. So you can see how much you've sold in each country. And then you can come over here and you'd see that represented as sales on the graph as well. So you can see there, you know, £3,774.60 worth of sales. So you can see all of that information in here represented across the different marketplaces. And obviously the more marketplaces you have selling, then the more wiggly lines you'll have to show each of those marketplaces. So the analysis page is really helpful. It just gives you a really quick snapshot of what's going on with your account. So you can have a quick look, see what's going on with your repricing, how many reprices is happening, you know, what's going on with your sales as well. You can see all that information here, and it'll just keep you updated with the basic information of what's going on with your repricing and with your sales.
I don't think I was expecting that to end that quick, even though I knew it was coming to an actual end. I should add that wasn't, I think that's just a demo account in it, Karen. It's not an actual account. So if you're wondering why it says 1 SKU repricing and like the numbers are all over the place, it's just a demo account. It's not an actual account. It's not one of you guys' accounts. So it's just a demo to show you.
Yeah, it's just fake data.
Yeah, it's fake data in that one. So just in case you're wondering why the numbers didn't seem right. Okay, so what are we saying?
So Daniel says, are there any plans to show a breakdown more of the boost data? I'd be interested to see what items were getting extra PPP boost, for example. Now, you can probably see that data from the history tab. So you can see what's happening on each data. We haven't talked about whether we're going to add something in to show more information from the boost. So maybe that's something we could do. Maybe that's something for the list tomorrow, please, Holly. So we can put that on the list and chat about that tomorrow. We've not done it that way. We've done it through the history feature. But yeah, we're happy to talk about it and see if that's something that we can get done, Daniel.
Is there like a, what do you call them? Sausage? Is there a sausage that does that as well or not?
There are sausages. And I think that's one of those, doesn't it? One of the
there might be. We don't know. I can't remember, but there might be a sausage. We call them sausages, but you can call them a pill or you can call them a badge.
Tic Tac,
whatever. But there's these weird little coloured things that come up on your ASINs in your inventory page, and I think maybe some of those have got boost data in them. But yeah, I think they have. But what we could do is collate that data and have it more central. So maybe chuck it on the analysis page. That could be a nice little addition. So we will discuss that tomorrow and potentially add that to the list, because I don't see why not. If we're showing it in the sausages, why not show it on the analysis page as well? Tic Tacs. Nicola says, on the repricing graph on the analysis page, would it be possible to select a longer period of time than a week?
Yeah.
It's on the list. Karen, Ollie's just said it's already on the list. So yes, absolutely, Nicola, we should and we can. So we'll get around to it. But obviously, as you understand, we are working, like we're flat out on like major features. So some of the smaller features like that will get added as and when. So we just have to prioritize everything. Automation's being a massive priority right now. Alvin says, I've just noticed that on PPP, I have quite a few ASINs that require min-max, but I always add them through the automate min-max via BuyBot Pro. It seems the data isn't being pushed across onto PPP, even though I'm pressing save in PPP. Any advice?
I don't know what's causing that. It should be working fine. So Alvin, please reach out to support info@profitprotectorpro.com with an example ASIN. And then we can go and have a look and see, like trace it back and see what's happened and let you know what's going on.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, Alvin. And if there's some bug our side, we'll get it fixed up for you ASAP. And if not, we'll figure out why it's doing it and we'll let you know. So just drop us an email if you can, Alvin, info@profitprotectorpro.com, and say, Matt and Karen told me to email you about this problem and explain the problem, and we'll get the devs on it tomorrow. If that's all right, if you can.
Okay, so Denise says, how do we sign up for seller suspension help should we need it in the future? So Denise, you can sign up if you've got Buybot Pro. It's just an upgrade of £10 or $10 a month with Buybot Pro. So email the team at info@buybotpro.com and they will do that. If you don't have Buybot Pro, are you bonkers? But apart from are you bonkers, you can get it separately at getunsuspended.com. So you can get it there, and it's a separate service if you want to do that.
Yeah, but I should say, I don't know, Denise, if you were American, I can't remember, but a lot of Americans don't realize Buybot Pro even exists. But if you don't, honestly, you think Profit Protector Pro is good, you should see Buybot Pro. Like, I don't know what analysis tools you use right now. And again, Denise, you might be in the UK, but I don't know what analysis tools you use right now. But if you haven't checked out Buybot Pro, and it's at buybotpro.com, BUY, bot Pro. I'm American. Denise, check Buybot Pro out. Honestly, you're going to love it. It takes things next level on the analysis side of things, and everything integrates really well together. Like Buybot Pro integrates with Profit Protector Pro and vice versa and all that stuff. But yeah.
Yep. Okay. So Daniel thinks showing more profit gains from PPP in a simpler form would be a great feature for users. We agree. We think it would be. So yeah. we will do that. Okay. So Donna says Buybot Pro analyze setting, use my current price versus use buy box price. I don't know what you mean, Donna. Sorry. Yeah,
you'll have to reword that, Donna, because we need a bit of context.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost.
Yeah, I'm lost too.
Debbie says
when she analyzes in Buybot Pro, is it best to use her current price or is it best to use the current buy box price?
Did you hear that?
So when Donna's analysing in Buybot Pro, should she use her current price or the buy box price?
Yes.
Do you know the answer to that?
It depends what she's looking for, I guess.
Holly says it depends what you're looking for. She guesses.
Yeah, I don't understand
I don't understand. I thought Holly I understood it, but
no, I'm saying that's what she's asking. But it depends what information you're looking for. Like, are you looking for the profit that you'll get with that buy box price, or are you looking for? Holly gets it, but it's like.
Yeah, I think if you're looking to see what the profit and the ROI is based on your current price, then put your current price into Buybot Pro. If you're looking to see what the profit and the ROI would be at your the buy box price, then use the buy box price.
I'm with you. I totally get it now. I totally get it. Yeah. So people use Buybot Pro in both ways. So it's the answer is whichever way, whatever you're looking for. So if you want to figure out what the deal looks like at the buy box price, use that. If you want to figure out what the deal looks like at current price, use that. If that's what you mean. If not, you'll have to tap us up in Profit Protector Pro Facebook group or Buybot Pro Facebook group and ask us there, because we've got 7 minutes left before Webinar Jam boots us out of here. So we want to get these last questions and then obviously say nanite and all that stuff.
Okay. So Debbie says, what's the difference between seller suspension and seller basics? I don't know what seller basics is, Debbie. Our service is called Suspension Safeguard, and it's provided by getunsuspended.com. So that's what we were talking about earlier. I don't know what seller basics is. Sorry.
No, Suspension Safeguard is the service we offer, and it's an upgrade with Buybot Pro, which you can get even if you're on the lower package of Buybot Pro. You can upgrade it, and it's a really good price. Or you can go to. I assume that site works. Suspensonsafeguard.com, is it?
No, we do it through getunsuspended.com.
Oh, sorry, getunsuspended.com, and then go find Suspension Safeguard on getunsuspended.com. There we go. Yeah. But if you don't want it and you just want to bookmark that page, getunsuspended.com, you can pay as soon as you get suspended or whatever for professional help, but it's going to cost you a lot more than the tiny low monthly fee. So sometimes it's good for peace of mind to get the monthly package at a low fee. And then any questions you've got in that regard, you can shoot them over, and you're getting good responses. Okay, so I think that is about it. Dilek says, thanks, guys. Great session tonight, as always. So, Karen, if you don't want to say anything else, obviously we're going to run out of time on Webinar Jam, so we should wrap it up and say goodnight to everybody right now. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's webinar. Hopefully we've kept it lighthearted, a little bit of fun, informative and educational. We appreciate your attention massively. We appreciate, for those of you that are customers, we appreciate your custom massively. Every single one of you. We think the word of you, and we really appreciate that the fact that you support us on this journey. And hopefully you see that we're always trying our best to make the best software possible for you guys and for your businesses to help you make more money, more sales, faster, and all that good stuff. So just want to say massive thank you. And to anybody that's thinking about becoming a Profit Protector Pro customer, take your time. There's no rush. Ultimately, we just want to serve you the best we can. Hopefully you'll see that we are genuine, transparent people. We've tried our best to answer every question tonight. We are visible. We are here. We're not some faceless big mega corporation trying to fleece you. We care. We actually want this to work for you. And so we'll do anything we can and everything we can to bend over backwards to help you have a great experience with Profit Protector Pro. And we are real people. You can talk to the owners. We do this regular. So ultimately, if you want something to change, you want some features, let us know on this on this or another future session. You can let us know, and we'll do our best for you.
Absolutely.
Do you want to say anything, Karen?
No, it's been great. I've loved having you joining us all tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for spending the evening with us, and I can't wait to do it again. Can we do it again next week?
I know, we love it. We love these things. I really love these. So Donna says thank you. Denise says thank you. Great info, Don says. Kay says, I'm going to go and subscribe. Nice one, Kay. Well done. Congrats. That's what we like. Be part of the family. Alvin says, amazing as always. Thanks, guys. Cheers, Alvin. Adam says, thank you. Love your products. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate your support. Ron says, thanks. Really enjoyed it. Stay well. Cheers, you too, Ron. Fahana says, going to sign up now. Nice one, Fahana. Debbie says, just signed up again. Nice one, Debbie. That's what we like to see. Tim says, brilliant as usual. Thank you. Nicholas says, many thanks. So we just want to say a massive thank you again to everybody that's joined us tonight. Thanks, Gabriella. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, everybody that's joined us tonight. And if you're watching in the replay, give us a thumbs up on the video or whatever, if there's a thumbs up option, wherever you're watching this, YouTube or Facebook. And we'll see you in the Profit Protector Pro Facebook group or in the BuyBot Pro Facebook group. And hopefully you'll join us for the next event. Hopefully you got some great value and great information from this. And yeah, we look forward to helping you grow your business in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, everybody. Lovely to be here. Lovely to see you all.
Thanks,
Take care.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.